What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Tuesday. Get you ready for the betting week. Brian, it's good to see you, buddy. How we doing, man?
What's going on, man? I'm doing great. Look at my Hawks, 1-0 lead, and the line just keeps ballooning up for Game 2 tonight.
Yeah, it does. And that was a heck of a game one that they had. They look good. I mean, the Trae Young firestorm, dude, like, it's just not going to stop. Your boy's on fire, man.
Yeah, he is. And, I mean, Danny Green's been a great defender his whole career, but at this stage of his career, he cannot defend Trae. They tried a few other things in the second half. I mean, maybe they'll try more Ben Simmons on him, but, you know, I'd love for him to get Ben Simmons in foul trouble. And Ben Simmons has got his own issues on the offensive end with his free throw woes. So,
yeah, I was going to say, yeah, let Ben Simmons have fouls on both sides. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We'll break all these games down. Everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Everybody, make sure to download that BetMGM app. If you use promo code A to Z 100, and today you put a $1 money line wager on either the Braves or the Phillies, if either team hits a home run, you win $100 in free bets. Legitimately the best bet that's out there. Do it. I've done it. It works. It's fantastic. That's BetMGM, the king of sports books. So visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, Brian, we're going to jump right into it, man. We got the playoffs rolling. NBA playoffs are fantastic. I know that we had a couple blowouts last night, but honestly, man, like I've been so just enthralled in the entire playoffs for the NBA. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to jump right into it. So taking a look at the next two nights, all right, what we have in the NBA. Tonight we have Hawks at 76ers. Atlanta leads that series 1-0. 76ers are a 6-point favorite. Over under 224. Now, these are your Hawks, buddy. We were just talking about them. They look good. How do you feel about them?
I feel great about where they are right now. I was a little surprised and concerned about DeAndre Hunter. You know, he had come back and played 3 of the last 4 regular season games. He's our best perimeter defender. And, you know, before he had the knee issue, was playing great in December and January, averaging better than 17 points per game. And, you know, he played the whole Knicks series, hit some big shots. I mean, I wouldn't say he was back 100%, but he was playing good D and seemed to be on his way. And then he's a game time decision tonight, and he missed game 1. So that kind of concerned me, but we played lights out. I mean, it's not like we can't overcome his absence because we went without him for 53 games. And, you know, Atlanta had tons of injuries all year and really only full force here in the last month. But, so anyway, just a few quick stats. Philadelphia at home, 32-8 straight up, 24-15-1 against the spread. Atlanta has won 12 of its last 14, 10-4 against the spread in that stretch. Now, the under was on a 7-0-1 run for Atlanta going into game 1, but obviously game 1 went way over, and it had 252 combined points. And the total had been like 220.5, 221, and when Embiid got upgraded, I guess they looked at that as upgrading Philly's defense, and the total went down to 219.5. And so with it going 252 in game 1, they've upped it to 223. And then this morning it went up to 224, but I still like the over. I think the 7-0-1 run for the under was more a function of the Knicks' ineptitude on offense. And the last couple of regular season games, Atlanta played some scrub squads like Houston and Orlando that just didn't score any points. So I'm going to go with the over on Atlanta-Philly tonight. Obviously, I'm wanting the outright win for my Hawks. By the way, the money line has gone up from plus 170 to plus 205 at last look. You know, as the spread has gone from 4.5, 5 up to 6. Now we've got the money line up to north of plus 200.
I like it. In our second game tonight in the NBA, we've got the Clippers at the Jazz. This is game 1, first game of the series. Jazz are a 4-point favorite at home, total of 220.5. What are you thinking for the first game of this one?
Well, big development. Mike Conley is out, and that's a pretty big deal. But look, even when Donovan Mitchell was out, Utah still played really well. So I loved Utah before the Conley thing. I still like Utah. I'm going to be on Utah tonight, and I like the over as well. The over's cashed in 5 in a row for the Jazz. Since Donovan Mitchell returned, the combined scores have been 236, 233, 232, and 270. And the over's on a 5-4 run for the Clippers in their last 9. They had 237 combined in Game 7 against Dallas. So I'm going to go with the over, and I'm on Utah as well.
Nice. And tomorrow night, we've got one NBA game. We've got the Nuggets at the Suns. Phoenix leads that series 1-0. Obviously, we saw what Phoenix did to open that series up by just blowing out Denver in the second half. It was a tight game in the first. Phoenix showed exactly what they could do, how powerful that they are. Both of these teams are really fun to watch. I mean, I know that I've said that, but I really like and enjoy watching both of these. I hate that one of them has to, get put out. I mean, it's the playoffs. Obviously, everybody's going to have to face that fate at some point. But we got the Nuggets and the Suns. Suns lead that 1-0. Phoenix is a 6-point favorite with a total of 222. Any thoughts there?
So Phoenix, man, lights out in the second half last night. Good pick by you. Allen was all over the Suns last night. And unfortunately, I had the Nuggets, who looked good in the first half, but Phoenix really blitzed them in the second half, and they just didn't have any answers. They really missed Jamal Murray, but they were able to get to the semifinals without him. And, it would be nice if they could get Will Barton back in there. They've been saying he's get close to returning for a while, but he's been out a while. I don't know how much they can expect if and when he gets back. And they're just going to have to make some adjustments. And they got to tighten up their defense. And Jokic is he's playing great. He didn't have a great game last night. He had a good game. He's got to be great without Jamal Murray, without Barton, without that firepower. Jokic has to be absolutely phenomenal. And he was good last night, really good, but he's got to be upper tier.
Yeah, Phoenix is that good, and they just hit you from so many different areas. It's tough. Like you've got to be a full team. And I'll say this: the reason that I played the Suns last night, I was looking over some numbers, and Denver. I found a stat that again, finding one stat doesn't always mean that's how it's going to play out. But I saw that Denver had legitimately not covered a spread this entire season when they had 3 or more days off of rest. And it happened again last night. And that's kind of how I was playing it, was for the second half. I thought Phoenix would take control, and they did. So I say all that to say this. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we have a much better game tomorrow night because Denver's a lot better of a team than that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bounce back at all. Now, what we call 2 for the money, we're going to take a look. We've already kind of gone through these NBA games. We're going to take a look at everything across the board, make 2 picks, and just kind of put out there what we're playing and what we found are our best bets. And Brian, I've made you forced you to talk so much to start this show. I'll start it off here. So I'm going with 2 games tonight, obviously both in the playoffs, one NBA, one NHL. First one, I'm going to go with the Jazz. -4. You could get it 3.5, maybe at a couple books. It was there this morning. I think most books now have it right at the 4. But the reason being is this: I think it's a fantastic spot for Utah. We're going to see, how Los Angeles deals with, how many games they played in the previous series, as opposed to Utah is 19-8 against the spread after 3 or more consecutive wins, and the Clippers are 33% against the spread against the Jazz this season. So I'm going to ride with the Jazz. I think that it's a good spot to be, and I'm going to take that one. My second game tonight is going to be in the NHL. We've got Vegas, the Golden Knights at the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to roll with the Avalanche money line, -145. Here's the deal. I think that the total, it could be a good play as well, playing the over. It's sitting at 5.5. Again, that can get high for some of these teams, especially when you see, what we've, witnessed out of the Bruins and Islanders series, sans the game yesterday. But I like the Avalanche in this one. I think that they're the best team in the NHL. You get them at home. I think that this is a game that they know that they need to win, and they will go out and win. So I'm going to ride the money line on that one. But again, if anybody's playing the total, playing the over 5.5, I certainly understand it. And if you want some numbers and data behind that, Colorado, they're 26-6 straight up this season at home. Vegas, they're 37% straight up this season as a road underdog. So I'm going to roll with Colorado, especially at a price of only 145. Usually you got to pay a whole lot more for that. So yeah, my 2 picks, Avalanche money line and the Jazz -4. Brian, throw it to you, buddy. What you got?
Yeah, so I already talked about how I'm on the over of both games tonight, but it's two for the money segment. So I'm gonna give you my two favorite, which will be Utah minus 3 tonight, and I'll go over 222 tomorrow night for Denver Phoenix. They went over last night pretty easy. Well, not that easily. It went to 227, but it was kind of blowout mode there the last 4 or 5 minutes, and so anyhow, it's been back-to-back overs for Phoenix, and Denver saw the over cash at a lucrative clip, in the Portland series. It's 3 in a row overs for Denver and 7 of their last 8. So Utah, and let's go over 222 tomorrow night with Phoenix and Denver.
I love it. I love it. Now, we're going to get back to the NBA, but for right here, I want to switch segments, and here's why. Brian, you're an Atlanta guy. You're a Falcons guy. We've got a lot of people in Nashville, a lot of people in Tennessee that are watching. We have a ton of Titans fans, and Julio Jones is the topic of discussion across the board here. So with everybody watching, everybody viewing, I want you all to play this game with us as well, okay? So, Brian, what I was saying, Julio Jones, it's affecting everybody. Falcons fans, Titans fans, obviously a massive trade. So we're going to play a little game. And again, me and you are going to play it, but I want everyone that's watching, play it with us. Let us know on Twitter, your picks, in the chat, your picks, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Let us know what your plays are, and this is how the game's going to work. All right, Brian, you ready? Viewers,
I'm ready, brother. Ready? I'm ready.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to give 2 categories, okay? I'm going to give 2 categories of just some notes, and everybody has to pick their best option from each category. So I'll keep it 1 category we'll pick, 2nd category that we'll pick. Okay, so after the Julio Jones trade, looking at the numbers, the betting odds for the Titans this season, okay? Win total over under 9, make the playoffs minus 140. Titans win the AFC South plus 110. Titans win the AFC plus 1,400. Titans win the Super Bowl plus 3,000. So the question is this, Brian, everybody watching, myself included, I'm giving you a fictional $100 bill that you could place guilt-free. If you lose it, who cares? If you win, you get all the money. Which one of those are you taking?
This is all of the Titans stuff to make the playoffs. We didn't get to Julio stats yet, did we?
Correct. Nope. We'll wait on Julio.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go Titans to win the AFC South plus 110. I already liked them anyway. I think the previous numbers were plus 140-ish or whatever. Yep. I already liked them before Julio. All they give up is a 2nd rounder for the next draft and a 4th rounder for the 23 draft. Win the AFC South, a 2-team race. The Texans and Jags will not be in it. It'll be Titans and Colts, and it'll be Titans win the AFC South.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the play. Make the playoffs, certainly. If you're looking, I'm not going to say, knock on wood, sure bet or anything like that. But I mean, this is a good football team, and this is a good football team before Julio Jones, right? So even if somebody didn't want to bet AFC South, I guess I get it. But make the playoffs minus 140. That's an affordable price. But I'm with you. I think win the AFC South plus 110 is the play on that one. Also, playing the over of 9, which, by the way, you can get a positive number, on BetMGM. So take a look at that one. But yeah, I'm with you. Win the AFC South. Everybody tuning in, let us know what your picks are on that one. And now we'll get to the 2nd category. So for this one, and we are the only place on the planet that has these, okay? Julio Jones joining the Titans. We've got numbers on over and under for this season, okay? Everybody, I'm going to read you 3. Think about it. Again, same deal. Fictional $100 bill. Place it wherever you want. Give me an over-under on the best one that you like, okay? First one, catches 85 this year. So, and let me give a comparison because it's kind of hard to understand, just in your head without, some kind of concrete. 85 receptions last year was around Alvin Kamara, DK Metcalf category, okay? Those guys had 85 receptions last year. All right, second one. Yards receiving 1,100. To give you an idea, 1,100 yards, A.J. Brown, Amari Cooper. Touchdowns, 7. All right, give you an idea, 7 touchdowns, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings, somewhere around there. And just to give the full comparison here, take a look at what A.J. Brown did last year with the Titans. He had 70 receptions, 1,075 yards, and he had 11 touchdowns. So I gave all the comparisons. I'll read the numbers once again. Julio Jones, Titans this season. Over under 85 catches, over under 1,100 yards, over under 7 touchdowns. Which one are you going? You got 6 options here. Which one's your best bet?
All right, I'm going to go under 85 catches. So in 5 out of 10 years for Julio, he's had 88 catches or more. But I'm going to go under. Now, another wrinkle is we've added the 17th regular season game. But now we're only doing one out of these because I could do an over-under on all 3.
You can pick as many as you want. Yeah, I mean, tell me what your favorite one is. But yeah, you can pick as many as you want. Yeah.
Okay, my favorite is under 85. Again, he's had 88 or more 5 times. Now, as for, I'll go under on the 7 touchdowns as well, because I think that Derrick Henry will be getting a lot of touches down in the red zone, and A.J. Brown might be more of the target down in the red zone as well. So Julio, he has had 7 touchdowns or more, only 4 out of 10 seasons in his career, and he's had 6 touchdowns or fewer in 4 of the last 5 seasons. As for the yards, I'll leave it alone, but I'll tell you that in 7 out of his 10 seasons, he's had 1,198 or more. And the 3 years where he did not have at least 1,198 receiving yards, one season he only played 13 games, the other he played 5 games, and then last year he played 9 games and had 771. So I'll go under on the touchdowns and the catches, and I just worry about his health. And then really the touchdown catches, I just think kind of Derrick Henry will be the focal point in the red zone, and A.J. Brown might be a target more so than him in the red zone. Yeah,
I'm with you. And there's so many ways that this can go, right? So if I had to play all of these, I would say under 85 catches. Yards, I would probably say somewhere around there. I think that he does have a full season. I think that he is going to fit terrifically in this offense. My biggest play, and here's the deal, I'm going over 7 touchdowns. All right. Like, that's where I feel that it's going to come into factor. And here's why. Because the Titans do have a ton of options on offense, but I think that we do see a regression in terms of the amount of workload that the Titans put on Derrick Henry. And I think that that's a good thing. Like, don't be wrong. Derrick Henry touching the ball is always good for the Titans, right? But you don't want to run the guy into the ground, even if that's possible. I'm not sure that it is, but just saying, I think that Julio Jones does open this thing up. I think that there are some qualities here to where, once it gets into a red zone, not only are teams going to load that up, thinking that Derrick Henry is getting the ball, thinking that A.J. Brown's getting the ball, thinking that Anthony Ferkser is getting the ball, or Ryan Tannehill can run too. Right? Like, we didn't see too terribly much of it last year. We saw it 2 years ago. So that's a threat as well. And I could absolutely see Julio Jones being a really nice red zone kind of threat for this team. So my best bet, I'm going to go over 7 touchdowns, but I certainly understand you guys and everybody in the chat. I love seeing it, exactly what you're saying, because it's going to be fun. I think that it's going to be a fantastic fit. And can't wait to see it. We'll certainly break down and talk more about that as the season gets closer. Now, for the final segment, we're going to play another game. And we've done this past couple weeks, really, since the NBA playoffs have started. It's a ton of fun. What we call pick your proper parlay. All right. So we're going to go through the BetMGM Lions Boost, the boosted props, boosted parlays, the special options they have for the NBA tonight. Okay. So similar to the last game, I'm going to read through. There's about 8 of them. I'm going to read through these. And Brian, me, everyone watching, want to hear what you guys are. Take your pick. We want to see. And you could choose more than one if you want. It doesn't have to be just one, but it has to be at least one. So I'm going to read through these, and then we'll break them down. So first one, Trae Young to score 25-plus points and the Hawks to win, plus 290. Hawks and Jazz both to win, plus 333. Joel Embiid to record 2+ blocks, plus 140. Hawks first to score 20 points tonight, plus 125. 76ers and Clippers both to win, plus 260. John Collins to record 10+ rebounds, plus 400. 76ers to win by 6 to 10 points, plus 333. And last one, Ben Simmons to record 10-plus assists at plus 140. So, Brian, I'm going to kick it to you. Everybody, again, if you're in the chat, write them out there. Tell us what your best ones that you would choose. You have to pick at least one, but you can pick more than one. So, Brian, I kick it to you, buddy. What do you got?
My favorite is the Hawks, first to score 20 points for plus 125 return. They have scored the first 20 points in all 6 games in the playoffs. The only game that they did not cover in the first quarter, the Knicks got a foul three-pointer and made 3 free throws to take the lead by 1 at the end of the first quarter of Game 3 back in Atlanta against the Knicks. But that was when the score was in the early to mid 30s. So they've been the first to 20 in at least all 6 playoff games. And I know they won in pimp slap fashion their last couple regular season games. So it probably goes back even further than that. So that's my favorite. Joel Embiid went 8 games in a row with having 1 block or fewer, but he did have 3 blocks in game 1. And I think he's got a pretty good chance to have 2 blocks at a plus 140 return. And I'm tempted to say the Hawks and the Jazz both win for plus 333. I do think the Jazz win. I think the Hawks have a great chance to win. So maybe that one hits 2. I'll go ahead and say it does.
I like it. So I'm with you 100% on the Hawks first to score 20 points plus 125. With you on that one. I'm riding Joel Embiid to record 2+ blocks tonight, plus 140. I think it's going to be a physical game. I think that he knows he's going to have to get out there and just legitimately give everything that he has to do it. So if I'm sitting at a number of 2 or more, yeah, I'm going to ride that one. And the last one, Ben Simmons to record 10+ assists. I think that this one goes down tonight. I think that he might get in his own head in terms of the shooting issues that he's had from the free throw line, and I think that could bleed over. Again, I was kind of looking at the numbers. You know, he generally falls in the 6, 7, 8 assist range, somewhere around there. But tonight, with it being a tough game, with it being a physical game, I like that one as well. So I'm going to go with, like you said, Hawks first to score 20, Joel Embiid 2+ blocks, and Ben Simmons to record 10+ assists. Now, before we end the show, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with Danny Green and especially Seth Curry, I'm pretty sure he was 5 of 9 from 3 the other night. And Danny Green obviously can shoot the 3 well. He's done that deep in playoff runs for many years. Lakers last year, Spurs for many years. Those are easy assists for Simmons. Penetrate, kick to Curry or Green for wide open 3s. I could see that happening as well. Yeah.
It's going to take a little bit of luck, but again, these are all, not something that we're putting, massive 1, 2, 3 unit plays on it. They're just props for fun. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, before we end the show, Brian, run us through again your 2 picks that you have going tonight.
Okay, Utah -3, even without Mike Conley. I absolutely was in love with this game. If he was good to go, I still like it a good bit, even without him. They've dealt with injuries all year, not as much as some other teams, but Utah has got many offensive weapons. I think they'll be fine without Mike Conley. So Jazz -3. I do like the over on both games tonight as well, but I'll say my second best game will be the over 222 tomorrow night. With Denver and Phoenix.
I love it. And I'm with you on the Jazz. I'm riding them tonight with the spread. Also taking the Colorado Avalanche at home against Vegas on the money line -145. So that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Seriously, we sure do appreciate you. We cannot thank you enough that we get to kind of do this show alongside you guys. Let us know what your picks are. Put them in the chat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Let us know what you're playing. Let's talk about it. And the most important thing is this. Let's cash some tickets tonight.
Good luck, everybody. Go Hawks, too.
There we go.